Hello, welcome back. I'm Charles Showalter. You're listening to the Union Edge Laborers Talk Radio. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the afternoon. It's with great pleasure that I get to reintroduce Admiral Joe Sestak, next Senator for the state of Pennsylvania. Admiral, welcome back to the Union Edge.
Charles, thanks for having me back. Thanks.
Always a pleasure, Admiral. We appreciate what you're doing. I understand that you're out and about meeting with people, talking. What's going on?
Well, I just got done a great event on healthcare, the Affordable Care Act, and the benefits from it, and what more we can do to advance the health security of Pennsylvanians in Reading, Pennsylvania. This weekend, I went everywhere from Elk County, where I met with a great group of Pennsylvanians, all the way through down to Bucks County, where I ended up last evening. It was a great, great weekend.
Absolutely, and it's always good to see you out and about and talking to people. Let's see. Number one, Admiral, you've got a book tour going on, right?
I do. As a matter of fact, that's what today was about. I walked, as you know, 422 miles across Pennsylvania because I thought it was important to begin to earn the trust of Pennsylvanians. It's the biggest deficit we have in America, the lack of trust. What I do with the book tour is I walk 0.422 miles in each place I go in Pennsylvania, and supporters show up. We had over 30 supporters showed up. They walked with me, and then we did an event, and it was on the chapter in my book called Walking in Your Shoes to Restore the American Dream, a chapter on health security. What's more personal to a family than making sure they have health care when their child gets sick? And that's what I continue to do as I cross Pennsylvania. Look, it's not about anything but Pennsylvania as far as I'm concerned, if I were to be the United States Senator for this great Commonwealth of ours.
Admiral, recently Senator Toomey voted against some child protection programs. What's wrong with that direction he's going?
Well, my concern with the senator is he is claiming that he wants to help the youth, our children, be protected from sex predators. And yet he voted 3 times to stop continuing the National Sex Offender Registry that actually makes sex offenders update their whereabouts every 3 months for life. He voted to take away the funding for the public website that anyone can go in and see if there's a sex offender who's registered near where they live. He's actually voted against all funding that the federal government uses for missing and exploited children investigations. You can say one thing here in Pennsylvania, that you care about our children, protecting them. But then when you go to Washington, D.C., and you vote against these programs that protect our children, I find that inexcusable.
I can't understand why somebody would do that. What are some of the potential reasons why he would vote against that?
I don't know. I think, though, it adds to the issue I brought up earlier, where we've lost trust in our politicians because they'll say something here in Pennsylvania, but they'll actually vote a different way down in the Senate. You know, he had something where he wanted to say, let's have some background checks on school employees, you know, make sure they're safe. And yet, in order to execute that, even he has to admit in his bill, it would need the National Sex Offender Registry to be working so that we know where they go, where they are, because it says to publish them, and they'd have to register. And so to then vote to close it down, I mean, that's $20 million of funding so that American parents can know if someone who might endanger them lives nearby. That's what I don't understand, except that's why we've lost trust in our politicians, because the senator may say he wants to protect our children, but his votes actually can do them harm.
Admiral, what are some of the other things that you're working on here in the state of Pennsylvania right now?
Well, one is vets. And I spent 31 years in the United States Navy. I'd do it all over again if I could. I visit prisons each Veterans Day because so many came home with post-traumatic stress disorder. They may have gotten involved in a crime or involving drugs or alcohol, and there they sit because we weren't there to help them. And yet Senator Toomey has voted to send me to war when he was a congressman for Iraq. And then he voted against every veterans appropriations bill that has to do with health care It has to do with preventing drug addiction or alcohol addiction. It has to do with preventing suicide. He voted against everyone as a congressman since he voted to send us to war up until this past December, even as a senator. So I work on veterans issues every day to try to make sure that our vets are taken care of. I also believe strongly in education. There's nothing that gives you an opportunity to be all you might be than education. And that's why I was so disappointed when it costs so much to go to college. And Senator Toomey said that student loans that we give are actually a nationalization of the student loan industry, and we should stop doing that from our government. I think how many people got to do that from the GI Bill all the way to Stafford loan system. In fact, he even voted against the GI Bill. I am so disappointed that he will say he cares about our vets, cares that we might have an educational opportunity, then votes against us overseas. And then last, transportation, if I might mention that. I cross these roads all the time, like I mentioned, from Elks County to Bucks County this weekend. And yet, he may say here in Pennsylvania we need a long-term transportation bill, but yet when he's down there as our senator, he crowed in front of the Tea Party forum he went to after leading the filibuster to stop the transportation bill. He said, we did something constructive today. I told you we'd kill it, and we did. We need a change, but it should be changed to someone you might trust that will do what they say and not say something in Pennsylvania and vote the other way in D.C.
Admiral, it's always a pleasure to have you on with us. We appreciate it. Where are you going to be at this week?
Well, it's interesting. I'll be just got back from Reading. I'm going to, let me see if I even have the schedule here. I'll be down in Philadelphia. I'll be meeting with some groups down there, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull out my schedule.
No worries.
It's just prepared next time, and I'll be also going to some Cumberland County, and I can't quite see where else I'll be going, but I'll be back and forth throughout this state. The best thing I can do is get out to meet people. It's not about the establishment. It's not about Washington, D.C. It's about we Pennsylvanians, we the people.
Absolutely, Admiral, and we appreciate what you're doing. Just hoping to see you get back here to the Pittsburgh area. Maybe we get you back in studio so we can talk some more. But it's always a pleasure. We appreciate what you're doing. I know you have a website. What is it?
JoeSestak.com. That's JoeSestak.com. SESTAK. And you can follow as I continue my book tour throughout Pennsylvania. We just put a pin up on the map for Reading today. And Charles, thank you very much for all you do in getting the word out.
Admiral, it's a pleasure. We appreciate it, and we appreciate what you do for the state, that's for sure. Any final words for us today, Joe?
Yes. Please, everyone, understand that while in America, we are meant to disagree because we are a democracy, to speak our own mind. At the end of the day, that doesn't mean we need to be divisive. I come from a Republican district I represented as a congressman, and yet I got reelected by 20 points because I believe that honest disagreement, but coming together with a principled compromise at the end is what this country most needs. Someone who earns the trust, but someone who can actually do the battle of ideas without making sure that at the end of the day we're divided. We need to be the United States of America and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Absolutely, Admiral, and we appreciate that very much. In the meantime, sir, we look forward to getting you back again soon. I'm Charles Showalter. You're listening to the Union Edge Laborers Talk Radio.